Loki is officially over, folks. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to bring you guys more of a summary than it is a review of Marvel's Loki, seeing as it already ended and I did not review any of the episodes except for the second one. So when we're doing a lot of blabbering, let's just jump straight into the summary, shall we? Oh, and the spoiler alert is in effect if you haven't noticed, okay? Okay. So I decided to sit down because one thing I'm not going to do is freeze during a cold front. Okay, so how wretched is this? Y'all don't understand. It's cold up in here. I have got the heater on. I need my blanket. It's cold. Let's cozy up together, shall we? And talk about Loki. So, episode 1. Loki is arrested for stealing the Tesseract and ruining the timeline during the famous Avengers New York SmackDown. Okay, this is where he is then taken to the TVA, where during his trial, he meets Mobius.
You have no idea what I'm capable of!
I think I might have an idea of what he's capable of.
After Mobius is able to prevent Loki from getting arrested, he then reveals to him that he wants them to collaborate and work on finding another variant, aka another Loki.
Fugitive variant's been killing our Minutemen.
And you need the God of Mischief to help you stop them.
That's right.
Why me?
The variant we're hunting is you.
Episode 2 is when Mobius and Loki work together to find this other variant, Loki 2.0, and after a lot of looking up and looking down, searching left, searching right, they finally run into the second Loki, and it turns out to be a woman named Sylvie. Episode 3, Loki and Sylvie are working together to take down the TVA after Loki followed her into the timeline thing. Yeah, so now they're working together to take down the TVA and essentially find the origins of what exactly is going on here. And this is when we find out that everyone in the TVA wasn't created by the Timekeepers as we are initially led to believe, but rather were kidnapped from the timelines, had their memories raised, and placed there in order to do whatever it is that they're currently doing.
I was told that everyone who works at the TVA was created by the Timekeepers.
That's ridiculous. They're all variants, just like us.
They don't know that.
Unfortunately, in episode 4, Loki and Sylvie are arrested by the TVA once again. However, Loki is able to tell Mobius before anything bad happens the whole truth of what the TVA actually is and that they too are variants. However, Mobius isn't quick to believe what Loki is telling him, and that leads Mobius to send Loki into a Doctor Strange time loop. However, after Mobius eventually takes him out of the time loop and back into current time at the TVA, unfortunately this leads to Mobius being killed. Sorry, pruned. Sylvie and Loki are able to fight their way straight into where the Timekeepers are seated in their throne, and after fighting off the bad guys and eventually reaching the TVA Timekeepers, we then find out that they have been robots this whole time.
Mindless androids.
A short while after that, Loki is pruned as well, and this is where we find out that having someone pruned doesn't mean death. However, they are sent towards the end of time where they will not be able to disturb the timeline any further.
Am I dead?
Not yet.
This leads us to episode 5, where Loki is officially introduced to a bunch of other Lokis.
All I know is I got pruned, and I woke up here, and now I'm surrounded by variants of myself, plus an alligator, which I'm heartbroken to report I didn't even find all that strange.
And this is where we see that there's this monster smoke cloud thing that is guarding them to make sure that they never leave this place that they're at, okay, so they can stop any disruption from further happening. Oh, also, did I forget to mention that Sylvie prunes herself in the beginning of this episode? Well, she prunes herself at the beginning of this episode. Oh, and Mobius isn't dead either. So all the Lokis come together, including Mobius, to fight off this monster thing. Well, actually, the plan is to enchant it. So Sylvie and Loki will enchant it and be able to, maneuver their way in order to see the real person behind the TVA and all the mess that's been happening. This is when one of the other Loki variants builds a building, a town out of dust. But literally like 5 minutes after that shocking fact, he dies. Which leads us to the final episode where Sylvie and Loki finally reach the one who knows all. He who remains is what they call him. Nothing much happens in this episode, to be quite honest. It's literally just the three of them, three being the all-knowing one, he who remains, Loki and Sylvie, just discussing ways in order for all of them to live in perfect harmony. This leads to the one who knows all trying to cut a bargain with them and letting them know that they could take over the TVA and everything that he has been doing and basically sit on the throne.
There's two options. One, you kill me and destroy all this, and you don't just have one devil, you have an infinite amount. Or you two run the thing.
Loki's like, okay, maybe we could, strike a deal with this person. This causes them to have a fight, which was like, okay, look at the two Lokis fighting, yay! And then after the little fight, Loki has a little moment with Sylvie, a little monologue, a little talk with her, which leads to like one of the most awkwardest things I have ever seen.
I just want you to be okay.
But I'm not you.
And it is awkward because my head is just like, y'all are one and the same, okay? Y'all have been saying y'all are one and the same, which means it's literally the same person, which means you kind of sort of felt for yourself. Narcissistic much? However, at the end of this episode, there is no clear ending conclusion per se. However, we do see that a bunch of timeline branches have been created, and it seems like this is how the multiverse is being introduced. Now, as I just mentioned, there is no clear ending to the series, and that is because with the quick post-credit scene that we see at the end of this episode, it is then revealed that Loki is actually renewed for a second season. So it looks like more shenanigans are on the way for us, folks. Honestly, this series, I expected a more grand finale, kind of sort of on the level of WandaVision, but I guess it makes sense seeing as this one is renewed for a second season and WandaVision wasn't. So WandaVision, we expected, a grand exit, honey, okay? And since Loki's coming for a second season, I guess they did need to leave a lot of questions unanswered in order for them to have more room to expand. The series was cute and all. I don't know how I'm feeling about the second season. Maybe I'll watch it. I mean, the odds are ever in my favor. The odds are quite high that I will watch the second season, but we will see. So yeah, that was it for today. Me and my blanket. Had to keep myself warm, not trying to get frostbite. And that was a quick summary of what happened during this season of Loki. So let me know if you guys liked it, if you've already watched it and all that good stuff, okay? So on that note, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, switch on post notifications, all that amazing stuff. Until next time, stay grand. Bye!